From this video we shall learn what are DDL statements and how to alter the table and how to drop a table along with the examples. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, share this video link with your friends, gain the knowledge and rule the world. Data definition language DDL. The data definition language is used for the purpose of creating, altering and deleting the database objects. That means it is used for the purpose of creating, deleting and altering the database, as well as the database objects can be created, modified and deleted. DDL, data definition language. The commands which we use and which comes under DDL are create, alter and drop. These are the commands. And create table is used for the purpose of creating a table, create view for the purpose of creating a view, create index for the purpose of creating an index, alter table for the purpose of doing the modification of a table, drop table for the purpose of deleting the table, drop view for the purpose of deleting the view, and drop index for the purpose of deleting the index. These are the different kinds of commands which comes under DDL, data definition language commands. These we use for the purpose of creating, altering and deleting database objects. Now we shall learn regarding them of few of the commands. It means in this particular video we shall learn the few commands of data definition language. Modifying table, that means we can make the changes to the table as well as the contents which are present in the table. It is used for the purpose of modifying the definition of a table, used to add an attribute to one of the base tables. The new attribute will be having null values in all the tuples of the relation right after the command is executed. That means when we execute the alter table command to add an attribute, at that time when that particular command will be executed, it will be adding an attribute and that attribute will be having the null values for all the tuples of the relation after the command has been executed. Hence the not null constraint is not allowed for such an attributes. It means by using an alter table, when we add an attribute, at that time we cannot use the constraint not null, because already there will be a tuples in a relation if you have inserted. When we add an attribute, so for those tuples it will be having a null values. For that purpose we cannot use the constraint not null for an attribute which we are going to add by using an alter table command. So modifying table or an altering table is nothing but it is used for the purpose of modifying the definition of a table. Among that, first one we shall see how to add an attribute to the base relation. We use the alter table command for the purpose of adding an attribute to the base relation. The alter table syntax is alter table, table name. Alter and table are the keywords. Those we can write either in the uppercase or in the lower case. After that, the table name you need to write in the same case how you have written at the time of creating the table. Alter table, table name. After that, add, add, column definition. Alter table, table name, add. After that, column definition. Here the column definition will be having the form, column name, data type, semicolon. So here we will be not specifying the constraints such as not null, null, unique. Those cannot be specified. We can just specify the name of the column, that is the attribute name, and the domain of the values, that is the data type, can be specified. Example, we shall consider a table student, that is a relation student with the attributes SNAME, SNO, BDate, gender, address, course, class. Consider this particular relation has been already created. Now to this particular relation we want to add a new attribute contact number. So how that particular new attribute contact number can be added is by using the alter table command. So that we can write as alter table name. So table name is student. After that add add contact number. It is the attribute, that is it is the column name. After that what you have to write? You have to write the data type. So data type decimal of 10 semicolon. That means you can give total of 10 values for a contact number, and there will be no any decimal point will be there according to the domain which we have specified. That is the data type decimal of 10. That means a total 10 integer numbers can be specified. It's a 10 digits can be specified, and there is no any digit we can write after the decimal point. For that purpose I have written decimal of 10. After that semicolon. Alter table name. Table name is a student, and add is a keyword. After that column definition. So column definition is contact underscore number space decimal within the bracket 10 semicolon. So when you write this particular command, then a contact number attribute will be added to the relation student. That means for a table, column number column called as a contact number will be added to a table student. It will display the message as table altered. So it is the command which we use for the purpose of adding a column or adding an attribute to a relation. Now after adding the attribute to the table student, which attribute we have added? We have added a new attribute contact number. It is a contact underscore NO. For this particular attribute the value will be null. Then how to add the value to the contact number attribute? Those values can be added by using a command called update, and that I will explain in the next videos of the DML statements, data manipulation language commands. In that one we will be learning regarding insert, update and delete commands, which comes under DML statements, data manipulation language. So remember, we can update the value of an contact number. That means we can give a value for the new attribute contact number for each student tuple by using a command called update. The another one syntax of the alter table which we can use for the purpose of adding a primary key constraint is alter table name, add constraint name. Alter table and add are the keywords, whereas a table name is the name of a table for which we want to add a primary key constraint, and constraint name is the any variable name which should follow the conditions of declaring a variables. And after this you need to write the primary key definition. Alter table name, add constraint underscore name, primary key definition, and that primary key definition will be having the form primary space key within the bracket column name, after that semicolon. At the end you need to write the semicolon for each of the commands which we will be executing. For each of the commands at the last you need to write a semicolon. Right. Add constraint name. right? So that constraint name, you need to choose any valid variable name. For example, pk1, pk2, pk3, like that. You can choose any of the variable name. After that, you need to write the primary key definition. The primary key definition will be having the form primary space key. It is a keyword. After that, within the bracket, you need to write the column name. After that, close the semicolon. As an example, consider that for a student relation, at the time of creating a table, I have not added the primary key definition. So that we can add it by using the alter table syntax. So that we can do by writing alter table student, add constraint name I have considered as pk1, primary key. Within the bracket, you need to write the column name. So here column name can be one name or it can be more than one column name together, which can be used for the purpose of identifying a unique tuple. In case of a student, we have considered SNO as the primary key. For that purpose, here write within the bracket SNO semicolon, alter table, table name is a student, add is a keyword. After that, pk1 is a constraint name, primary space key, within the bracket SNO semicolon. So when we execute this particular command, it will display the message as table altered. So what it will do is, it will make the constraint SNO as a primary key. The constraint will be added, and that constraint is nothing but SNO is a primary key. Student number has been added as a primary key. So in this way, we can add a constraint primary key by using the alter table command. We can also use the alter table syntax for the purpose of adding the constraint foreign key, and that syntax is alter table, table name, add constraint name, after that the foreign key definition, after that semicolon. The foreign key definition will be in the form of foreign key column name. So this column name should be the name which is present in the table name, which we have written after alter table. Then after that, you need to write references. After that, you need to write the column name before that table name. References table underscore name 1, column underscore name 1. So this table name 1, table underscore name 1 means the table to which it will be referring, and column underscore name 1 refers to the column name which is present in the table name 1, whereas the column name is with respect to the table name. Table name 1 is the reference to which the column name will be made, and column name 1, that is the column underscore name 1, is nothing but the name of an column, that is the name of an attribute which belongs to the table underscore name 1. We will see an example of the adding a foreign key constraint by considering the employee relation on an employee table. Consider that we have created an employee table by using F name, middle initial, L name, SSN, B date, sex, address, salary, and we have not added super SSN and DNO. We have not added super SSN and DNO, and we have inserted the values. After that, we want to add the foreign key constraint super SSN. For that purpose, first we need to alter the table and add the column called super SSN, that is add the attribute super SSN to the relation employee. After that you can add the constraint for super SSN by using the alter table command for adding the foreign key constraint, and that can be done by writing alter table name. So table name is employee, and FRK1 is the constraint name, foreign key, within the bracket the column name. So column name here is super SSN, within the bracket references. Which table? It will be referring the same table, that is an employee, within the bracket SSN, alter table employee, add FRK1, that is a constant name, foreign space key, super SSN. For that one, the column will be referring to an SSM column which is present in the employee table. After that, semicolon. In this way, we can add the foreign key constraint. Similarly, consider the DNO attribute, which is considered from the D number, that is the department number of a department table. That can be done by writing alter table employee, add constraint name as FRK2, foreign key, within the bracket DNO, references, department, it is the name of a table, in that one within the bracket the D number, semicolon. In this way, we can add a foreign key constraint for DNO of an employee table. When we execute this particular command, it will be displaying table altered. So this is the syntax for the purpose of adding a constraint foreign key, and it is an example of how we can add a constraint. It's a foreign key constraint. Here in this particular, there is only one foreign key, super SSN has been added, and orally I have told how to add the another one foreign key constraint DNO by referencing the table department, in that one D number. Alter table command can also be used for the purpose of deleting or dropping the column, even for the purpose of deleting or dropping the constraint. Now, the alter table command for the purpose of dropping a column is the syntax alter table name, drop column name, semicolon. So it is a syntax to delete or drop the column from the table. Example, alter table employee, drop column salary, semicolon. That means it will delete the column salary, that is the attribute salary will be dropped from the table employee, and it will display a message as table altered on successful execution of the command. Similarly, we can also drop a constraint by writing alter table name, drop constraint name. Deleting table in the sense, whatever the table has been created, we want to delete that particular table, and that can be done by using the command called drop table. That can be done by using the command called drop table. So deleting a table is used to remove a relation or a base table and its definition. The relation can no longer be used in queries, updates or any other command since its description no longer exists. It means once we use the drop table command, and if we delete a table or a relation, that particular relation again we cannot use either them in queries or in updates or any of the commands since its description will be no longer existing in the database. That means before using the drop command, be careful whether that particular table is needed or not needed. You need to be confirmed with that one, then only write or execute the drop table command. So drop table command for the purpose of deleting a table is, the syntax for deleting a table is drop table, table name, semicolon. Drop table, table name, semicolon. Example, drop table student, semicolon. So it will be deleting a relation student and all the values and all the tuples which are present in the student relation will be deleted along with the description of the student relation. If this particular relation, there is a student, if it is having a constraint with respect to another table, then this particular command will display an error message. This particular command will display an error message if there is a constraint with respect to a table called student. Drop table student, semicolon. It is a simple method which we can use for the purpose of dropping a table, and this particular table will be deleted if and only if there is no any constraint related with respect to a table called student. As I told, if a particular table which we want to delete is having a relationship with some other table, then it will be generating an error. That is, if some table object exists and that table, if it is a dependent table, while dropping a table, the drop command will generate an error. That means when we use drop table, table name, for example, drop table employee, if the employee and the department are having a relationship, then in such case it will generate an error, and those relationship exist by writing a constraint of foreign key. In those cases it will generate an error. Then how to remove the employee table in such cases? To overcome that one, you can use cascade constraint, and it should be succeeded with the drop command. That means the drop command whatever we have seen, after that we need to write cascade space constraint, and that will be in the format of in this way: drop table, table name, cascade constraint, semicolon. Drop table, table name, cascade constraint, semicolon. Example, drop table employee, cascade constraint, semicolon. So in this case what happens, the employee table will be deleted, and whatever the constraints which have been present with respect to an employee table, those will not be considered. It will allow the successful deleting of an table employee. In this way we can use these commands, and these commands are called as an DDL commands, data definition language. In the previous video I have explained regarding create table, whereas in this one alter table and drop table commands. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, share this video link with your friends, gain the knowledge and rule the world.